I've been in a relationship for 3 years. There have been ups and downs, like all normal people. A few weeks before what happened, I started to notice that something was changing in the relationship. On the part of the girl began to feel cold, not wanting to communicate, referring to the fact that we already know everything about each other and talk about nothing. Avoiding evening meetings, we see each other every day, even if not for long. In her facial expression began to observe the post. Frigidity in relation to me. In the company of friends, gave preference to communicate not with me. I am a man of principle, judicious, quite intelligent, and as you can see, very modest. Naturally, this situation began to stress me out. Realizing that we need to talk, so she instated, we on the eve of not very good walk, and gave each other a little negative emotions. The girl, guided by stereotypes of society, began to find out why I want to break up. I explained to her that I just want to talk and understand what's going on. I said it in the afternoon. Myself was at work. Not wanting to wait until the evening, the girl inclined me to break up now, and that was it. I was in a bad mood and with bad thoughts, so agreed. Throughout the relationship, we had a few times of such moments, which was usually solved by the fact that I would write, we would meet, talk, Rochest-Viut, and decide to stay together. I want to tell you a little more about me and our relationship. I'm like everyone else, a man with his paddles, where it is good, where it is evil, but usually cheerful, and try to give positivity to others. Always sincerely and honestly, say what I think about. For this reason, there were fights, she took offense, but what can be done if it is true? I do not beat her. Physical violence against girls for me is not acceptable. Absolutely not. When we fight, I yell, I call her names. That's how my emotions manifest when I'm annoyed, angry, or I don't like something very much. When I felt cold from the girl, I was a little distant and went with the flow. Sometimes we didn't listen to each other and didn't do anything about it. We didn't communicate for 3 days. In the evening, I texted her, to which I received rudeness in response. Then I got rude again, and then I started to wallow in it. I was getting really stressed out about the situation. In the evening, I forced a meeting. She showed up, said she didn't want anything else and would never give it back to me. Later, I found out that she went out with a childhood acquaintance. A few more days of trying to communicate was stressful for me. I'd never had so much negativity dumped on me before. Such was the communication. A couple more days went by. Here it is, and came that day, the day of treason. It was at night. I found out about it a day later, after communicating with my wife. As events unfolded before the affair, I thought about it a lot and didn't know what to do, but I finally realized that I wanted her back. I knew they were out together. When I asked her to meet me late at night, she said yes. I told her a lot of nice things when I met her, that I shouldn't have made her feel comfortable. We have a lot in common and I feel good about her. To which I got a terrible response. She said she'd made up her mind. I can't get her back. I lost her myself because of my indifference and the constant she on her. She realized what she wants, and it's her old acquaintance who deserves to be with her. I told her I didn't want to let her go, and she didn't need him. To which she told me to my face that she had made up her mind. She would date him and sleep with him soon. They understood each other. She was in a bit of an alcoholic state, as was I. Asking her not to do it, tried to hug her. She chased me away, saying she had made a choice. I was mortified, but walked away. 24 hours later, we had a conversation. I asked her what was going on. She said it was really awful, and she hated herself, making people feel bad and hurting. I understood. I was extremely horrible, but I can't hate her. She said she did it that night. I was just destroyed and torn to shreds. My mood has changed every hour. I don't know what to do. It's shattering. My morals and my principles. My confidence has dropped to zero. I don't think I can forgive, even though I'm trying. Her reaction: she didn't feel well this morning, couldn't find her place. She couldn't work, so she took off work, even though he picked her up in his car. Says she realized she loves me and she doesn't need anyone else. She's disgusted with what she's done to herself. She said she's confused. She understands if I never want to see her or talk to her. It's hard for me to accept her, but I agreed to communicate. She's in a state of confusion, and so am I. It's hard to make a decision. What should I do? Help!